Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Tap In with Tristan. Got a great guest today for our Fit Lab 15 segment. I don't want to really take too much time, so I'm going to welcome Miss Molly Phillips. Say hello to everybody, Molly.
Hi, I'm Molly. I'm from the Dallas area and I play volleyball at the University of Texas. I'm a sophomore here. But yeah, I've been working out with Tristan since I don't know, sophomore, junior year of high school. It's been a while, but yeah.
Yeah, it's been a while. So again, I've been very blessed to develop a relationship and watch her career blossom. So thank you for spending a little bit of time with us just to get to know you a little bit better. So let's dive into it. What does young Molly look like as far as sports? When did you even get involved, and was it volleyball right away, or was you playing a couple of things?
Yeah, so I guess growing up, I played a lot of different sports. Our whole family is like pretty into sports and everything, so I kind of just like was born into that. But I played basketball for a while and a little bit of soccer. And then I guess it wasn't until I moved around a lot as when I was younger. So I played basketball everywhere I went and then started playing soccer. And then whenever I moved to Mansfield, I started playing volleyball just because all of my friends did. And that was like the fun thing to do. And I was like, oh, sure, like I'll try this. Ended up when I started, I was really bad, really bad. And I was super lanky and just like was not in control of my body at all. And so then I guess it was about seventh or eighth grade, I started like really enjoying playing and wanted to get more serious with it. And it just became like way too much to be doing volleyball and basketball at like that high of a level. And so then I just had to decide to go all in with volleyball, just kind of going into high school, like needed to choose one or the other. And so yeah, it was really, I guess, like my eighth grade year, I started taking it super seriously and the whole recruiting process started and all of that.
Yeah, so let's talk a little bit about that. What teams are you playing on? Are you playing at like one of the higher levels of AAU or select, or you still kind of just playing recreation wise? You're taking it serious, so I would assume that you're probably looking for the top competition to play against. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, I'd say so. I think I played at Texas Image, which is in Grand Prairie. Um, so that's where I played all throughout club from when I was 12 to 18. I played at Texas Image, and when I started off, we really weren't that good. Like we were a low level team, and like no one really knew who we were. But then we started getting older. Like we just got a few more really good players, and then we ended up playing in Open. We were one of the top teams in Open. So I guess just like as I got older, we all got better, and our club got better. But I don't know. I didn't know we were bad when we were bad. I had no clue anything about volleyball. So it's like, oh yeah, this is fun. We're good. But ended up ending up really well, and I couldn't have asked for a better club. So I'm glad I was there.
Who are some of your teammates that you play with? Are some of your teammates playing Division One volleyball as well? If so, name a couple.
Yeah, a lot. Most of them are honestly, I think still. We have Jillian Ditz. She went to Colleyville and she's playing at Tulane. She's a libero. Ajani Teeler is at Kentucky. She's played middle this last season. She's a middle right side. Audrey Knowles plays at TCU. She's an outside there. We have London Gray. She went to Georgia and she's still playing there. And then Allie Wells was our DS. She's at UTA, and she's still playing, doing really well there. We have a bunch. I mean, I could name more. We Sophia Miller, she's playing at Brown. They're all still playing. So yeah, we had a lot.
Well, that's good. So with that, did you form like a really good bond with these young ladies and the parents? Or how did that play with your parents? Were they pretty hard on you as far as going at it, or they were just kind of supportive and everything?
They've always been like crazy supportive, and they drove me everywhere, took me everywhere. Even when I could drive, they're like, "No, we'll take you." They wanted to watch everything happen and stuff. But I think like with volleyball, they one thing that I liked about the whole parent aspect of volleyball is that my parents really didn't know anything about volleyball, so they couldn't coach me on it or anything. They could just like encourage and like try to add in, but didn't really know what they were talking about. So it was like less coaching than when I played basketball. And like when I played basketball and they were like coaching me on the side, like it was all in good help. They wanted to be like making me better, but sometimes that was like what drove me away from basketball and like how it wasn't as fun as volleyball was. And so that's something I really liked about volleyball is there was way more just like straight up support. They couldn't really coach as much, but they've always been super supportive and everyone on our club team was too, all of our parents. It was great.
Now that's beautiful. Now, going into like high school, you're super serious about it. You have the student aspect that goes along with it, and the athletic side that goes along with it. And then you want to perform. You want to perform at a high level. Are you looking at colleges? Like, is it something that you're looking to do collegiately? What's all of that look like going into the high school years?
Yeah, so I guess when I was younger, the rules were a lot different than what they are now,
Right.
which is I think for the better, honestly, because I guess it was seventh grade is when I got my first like questionnaire to fill out for college.
We're talking about recruitment, correct?
Yes, yeah, with
Okay.
recruitment, yeah.
So they
And
changed the rules. For anybody that doesn't know, they kind of changed the rules up for recruitment about 2 years ago to what they are now. And you was you was with the old rules, right?
mhm,
Okay, so you got the
yeah.
first lesson in 7th grade. That continue.
Yeah, so seventh grade we got like a little questionnaire that they can send and you fill it out and like I was in seventh grade, I didn't even know what college was. I didn't know what high school was. So that was like really overwhelming. And I was like, I don't even know how to fill this out. I don't know what I'm doing at all. But and then it just kind of like picked up from there. And I got my first offer in eighth grade.
Wow.
And that was like super overwhelming too. I mean, I just then I definitely didn't realize like what that meant or like what it was. But like now knowing like, wow, it was really in eighth grade and they like wanted to give me an offer for college. But it was crazy, and then my whole freshman and sophomore year was just, like, pretty much all recruitment, recruitment. I remember, like, I had Tuesdays were my days I would call coaches on the phone, and I would literally, like, just, like, sit up in my room and be on the phone from when I got home from school to dinner, and I would just be calling and calling and calling, and I was like, I would it was nice, like, to call and, like, have those conversations, but, I mean, at that age, I was just like, "Oh, I just wanna go watch TV, I wanna hang out with my friends and stuff,"
Right.
but it's the sacrifices you make, and I'm so glad I did it, like, I wouldn't want it any other way, but so sophomore year, I committed to UT, it was about, I think, October of my sophomore year,
Wow.
and, like,
Great.
that's crazy young, I think, like, looking back, I was like, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe, like, I made that decision and,
Was it
like, knew."
overwhelming? Was it overwhelming, Molly? Like just having all of these different schools, and was your parents overwhelmed? Did they understand what was going on? Because you're highly touted. You're an All-American for those who don't know. So the recruitment process is a bit more intense for someone like you. So tell us a little bit about how the family dynamic. What was going
Yeah.
on?
My dad definitely helped me a lot because he played division or he was played D2, football at ACU, and
Mhm.
so he, like, knew the whole situation, knew exactly what was going on and everything, and so, like, he knew what it took and, like, he knew, like, what I was going through, so I think that that helped me a lot. But then, like, my mom was just super encouraging. I mean, if you've ever met my mom, like, she's super like, "Oh, you can do this, like, whatever, like, I'm here for you the whole time," and she didn't, like, know exactly, like, what sports-wise was going on, but, like, she definitely dove into it as much as she could, figured out what she could, and, like, was there every step of the way, so they were super supportive and, like, definitely trying to make sure that I stayed grounded and didn't let any of that go to my head, and I think that that is something that's super important because you can easily, like, think you're all that for getting a few offers, but really, like, the girl next to you that you're trying to beat out is getting the same one, so it's, like, important to stay grounded and not let those get to your head, but yeah.
That's fascinating. And that's great nuggets of information for everybody that's watching. Now, you're humble, but you also have to have a level of confidence. Was you doing like extra training with private strength training? We started doing strength training and everything like that. I know that you was doing that part. Did you feel like that was helpful? And that's it. And that is, do you feel like to play at that level is necessary?
Oh, yeah. I think 100% that that's necessary, and, like, some girls can, like, get away with just doing the bare minimum and, like, going to practice twice a week and, like, they are that athletic and that gifted and, like, they can do that, but, like, personally for me, I could not, like, I was gifted with my height, I was gifted with, like, being able to see the court, but, like, I need that extra work and that extra time to, like, physically be prepared, and so if I hadn't have done that, I wouldn't be where I am today, and, like, I'm still having to put in extra time for that while I'm in college, like, that doesn't end, and so I definitely think it's important to start early, like, I really would not be here where I am today if I hadn't have done it, so I think that's really important.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. So let's talk about how your high school career kind of played out. So we're going through. You're also playing the club. What do you think about the workload playing included in the rest ratio is for a young volleyball player? what should they start to get in their mind if they're going to get into this lifestyle?
Yeah, I think, like, as I got into high school, there's really, like, no off season, like, and that's pretty evident, like, you play in the fall, you play all high school, starts August 1st and then goes however long you get to play in the playoffs, and then club is starting earlier and earlier and earlier, like, literally right when you finish school, you're starting club, like, you start going to practices and workouts and everything for club, and then also, if you're playing beach, then that's a whole 'nother animal, and that starts, like, as soon as club is over or while club is happening, so, I don't know, I mean, it didn't seem like a lot of work when I was doing it, I guess, because I just, like, loved going, and it was just like, that was fun, like, I was like, "If I'm not doing volleyball, what else would I be doing?" Like, sitting at home, and I don't wanna do that, so, it wasn't super, like, "Oh, I have practice every day," like, all this stuff, I was like, "Oh, yay, like, I'm busy this week, I get to go do something," but it definitely is a lot of work, and you don't really have an off season at all. But I don't know, it's part of the lifestyle, I guess.
On a lifestyle. So this is something that you're going to sign up for. So understand this. So you're an All-American. You go to a star-studded team, a perennial top 5 team, national title contender. What's it like being a high-level Division I student athlete at a really big-time university? Tell us a little about that.
Yeah, I mean, it's so much fun. It's definitely the hardest work, like, I've had ever, but it's definitely rewarding. It's so fun to get to do this with your teammates every single day, and, like, I mean, your teammates really do become your family, and that's what I've, like, experienced the most here, and I don't know, it's so rewarding. We have, like, the best staff, and you have so much support. Anywhere you go, you have so much support, and they tell you that, and that really is true. Like, academics, volleyball, everything, like, they help you with every step of the way, and I don't know, I don't know what I would do if I didn't play volleyball. I feel like that'd be way too much free time for myself, but, they definitely keep you busy. Your whole day is scheduled, which is nice. Makes it hard to procrastinate, so it definitely helps that way.
How has it been working in the midst of this COVID pandemic? Because you're almost having like a split season.
Mhm.
Off in the fall, and then y'all gonna be doing stuff in the spring. So what's this like?
Yeah, I think, like, they manage it super well, like, at UT. Like, I haven't really had any issues with anything, and, like, I mean, we are super strict, and we have to follow strict rules, but, I mean, as we should, so I think it has worked out really well, but it is a huge difference from last year to this year, and the whole, 2 seasons for Big 12 at least. I know SEC is kind of the same. We played in the fall, and now we're playing again in the spring, and we'll have the tournament in April. But it is, like, a totally different year, and everything feels so much longer. Like, I feel like this should still be my 1st semester, but we're starting the 2nd one.
Wow.
But I don't know, I'm just glad we got to play, and, like, we get to play both semesters. A lot of schools didn't get that opportunity, so it's just more days to get better, but yeah, it's been a lot different, but
Not different. You just take it one day at a time. So as a Fit Lab athlete, we've been able to build, and it's been beautiful to just watch the maturation of you and your career. What is some advice that you would give to some of the young up and coming volleyball players, or just student athletes?
yeah, I'd say, like, definitely take advantage of if you find, like, a good trainer like Tristan, like, definitely take advantage of that. Like, those are little things that you really don't think about and you don't think will end up adding up, but it really does. Like, that's important and you need that, and, like, that will show the biggest difference in your play is, like, if you're putting in the work behind the scenes. So I think definitely, like, dive into that, and then also just, like, if you're going through the recruiting process and, like, it becomes overwhelming, like, the biggest thing I would just think about is, like, one day like this will be over and, like, it will all be worth it, and I will, like, one day be at the school I love, and, like, everything will have worked out for me, and so I think that that's just something important, like, the craziness isn't gonna last forever. It's all gonna work out, but yeah,
Absolutely. And I appreciate that, because this platform is something to where we can maybe help and be a resource, and I feel comfortable, reach out to me, and use your network to ask as many questions as possible. It's only going to come around one time. So again, Molly, I just want to say thank you for taking out your time. I know you're a busy young lady between everything that you have going on. And again, I'm super proud and I'm super thankful to be a part of the journey. And I look forward to everything that comes your way. And it's going to be exciting. It's going to be exciting. So God bless you, and thank you once again.
of course, yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Hook 'em, right?
Yes, hook 'em.
All right. Have a good night. I'll talk to you soon.
Thank you.
Okay.